Hey comic fans, Rob here. I'm eagerly anticipating the release of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite on September 19th, but we're not quite there yet. I've been watching a lot of videos online of gameplay from other YouTubers, and I've noticed that there are a couple instances where it appears palette swaps in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite are designed specifically to give you an alternate look for a character that already exists. For instance, one of Iron Man's color palette swaps is black and gold, his Marvel Now armor, and I've got to say I love when Capcom gives this attention to detail to comic book readers playing their fighting games. And this love and attention was especially evident in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So today, while we're still waiting for Marvel Infinite to come out, I figured why not go ahead and take a look back at Marvel 3 and explain where some of those specialized palette swaps for Marvel heroes, specifically the X-Men, actually come from. Let's get things started by taking a look at Storm. In Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, the first color option we have for Storm is a standard black and gold outfit. This outfit references roughly the time of a Messiah complex from the comics, around the time that Baby Hope was born. Storm's outfit is just kind of a single swimsuit style black piece with gold trim. Option 2 makes the outfit white, which isn't really a comic book accurate Storm costume at all, but the colors do reference Storm's look in the 90s when she had a full white bodysuit. Option 3 allows Storm to play in a black costume with white trim, her post-Civil War outfit when she served as a member of the New Fantastic Four in Reed and Sue's absence. It's very similar to her black and gold look, but the cape actually has some white triangular detail that wasn't present on the black version of this suit. Option 4 will switch Storm to a black and purple costume reminiscent of her X-Men Revolution era costume from around the year 2000. The colors here are inspired by that short-lived costume, but don't 100% look like the comic book version. Option 5 is her blue and white costume from the Asgardian War crossover. The colors here are inspired by her temporary look when she wielded Mjolnir. Option 6 is a blue and yellow design, reminiscent of the cover of X-Men 275 when Jim Lee designed some Danger Room costumes for the X-Men to wear. In fact, it's this Danger Room outfit that directly predates Storm's famous white outfit that she was known for wearing in the 90s. Again, here the costume only features a color inspiration and does not directly look like the original yellow and blue outfit. Finally, Storm's 7th costume option is her classic Mohawk look, from a time in the comics when Storm was powerless and leader of the X-Men, and that look is captured in great detail. Next up, let's look at the best there is at what he does. Wolverine's first costume is his standard yellow, astonishing X-Men era costume designed by John Cassaday. His second option features a brown and yellow version of that astonishing X-Men era costume, not accurate to the true brown and yellow costume, but it's also not the first time we've seen Wolverine's tiger-striped yellow costume simply recolored yellow and brown. The same color swapping was featured in previous Marvel vs. Capcom installments, as well as the X-Men Mutant Academy fighting game series. The third, black and gray option that Wolverine features are his X-Force colors. A fairly monochrome look from the comics, but it's worth noting that Wolverine's eyes are now red instead of white. Wolverine's fourth costume option is a faded yellow and black outfit. Looks very similar to his base astonishing X-Men era suit, but this is actually Wolverine from Enemy of the State. You'll notice many of the blue portions of this costume are now replaced with the color black. Option 5 for Wolverine features his Weapon X Age of Apocalypse color scheme, and just like his brown and yellow and X-Force costumes, this Weapon X Age of Apocalypse version of Wolverine is only a color inspiration outfit and not a direct copy of the way that costume looked in the comic book pages. Option 6 for Wolverine is probably unfamiliar to most people watching. It's actually Capcom referencing their own video game history with the character, as in Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems on Super Nintendo actually featured a green evil palette swapped Wolverine as a boss character. And lastly, Wolverine's 7th costume option is fairly iconic to most fans of the character. It's Wolverine's Weapon X outfit. The look he sported during the classic Marvel Comics Presents comic book series, when we first learned how Wolverine got adamantium bonded to his bones. Moving on, we've got the standard look for Magneto, his red and blue outfit that he's been wearing since his first appearance in X-Men issue 1 all the way back from 1963. And of course, this is the look familiar to many of you who are fans of X-Men the animated series. Magneto's second look is a purple and gray or black sort of outfit from the Eve of Destruction storyline from around X-Men 113, the fall of Genosha and the aftermath. Magneto's third costume is an all-white outfit that's based off of his appearance in Age of X. Though retroactively, this color scheme actually works quite well for the Renegade Uncanny X-Men team from more recent stories in the comics. Magneto's fourth costume is red and black. It's actually the ultimate Magneto appearance. The way the colors have been used on Magneto's character model largely recapture the look of that ultimate Magneto costume, despite some of the detail of the costume being incorrect. Magneto's 5th costume has the same color scheme as his standard suit we're familiar with, only this time red and purple have been inverted. This costume is actually the Mutant X comic book series Magneto, and props to Capcom for tweaking the belt on the character model so it can actually have the proper X logo. Option 6 is actually a teal and black color scheme for Magneto. This color option isn't actually a reference to any comic book version of Magneto, it's actually a nod to his color palette from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that became popular thanks to the Yipes curly mustache meme that arose from the Marvel vs. Capcom tournament scene. And Magneto was going to have a 7th DLC costume at one point, actually based on the House of M storyline. However, before this costume option could be made available, the King of Spain, Juan Carlos, actually expressed his displeasure about how the likeness of Magneto's outfit resembled his own formal dress wear. So Capcom decided it was just best to skip it. Next we've got X-23, and her standard costume is the black outfit she wore in the pages of New X-Men from around the time this game actually released. X-23's second costume option is yellow and black. The colors are inspired by the founding 5 X-Men, the yellow and black color scheme that we're all familiar with, and of course was used again for the New Mutants. X-23 eventually adopted this color scheme in the pages of New X-Men, however the costume looks slightly different from a simple palette swap. Option 3 is actually civilian clothes for X-23. In fact, this particular outfit was pulled straight from the cover of X-23 #1. Option 4 changes X's outfit to purple and white, and recreates the look of her imbued with the Captain Universe powers. Option 5 changes her costume colors to black and gray, the same color scheme she had as a member of X-Force, though her costume didn't quite look like what we have here. Option 6 gives X-23 a green appearance, inspired by her color scheme from Age of Apocalypse. This version of X-23 actually comes from an alternate future where her parents are Logan and Mariko. Option 7 is actually my favorite of the X-23 costumes, and even the way it was introduced to the character. It's the sneaking suit that X-23 wore during her first appearance on the animated series X-Men Evolution. Sticking with X-Force standbys, we've got Deadpool in his standard red and black outfit. This is the pre-Marvel Now version of Deadpool, mostly the way he appeared during the Cable and Deadpool comic book series. Option 2 is actually a gag from the Cable and Deadpool comic book series. It's Deadpool's unofficial X-Men costume. Short-lived and meant to look like he just pulled an X-Men yellow and black training suit over his current red and black outfit. Option 3 is a bit of a deep cut. It's Victor Von Doom from Earth 11638, Death Wish. And the parallel universe where this version of Doctor Doom comes from, he actually went crazy when the Fantastic Four disbanded, and ultimately became his universe's version of Deadpool. Option 4 is another deep cut for Deadpool. We've got Deadpool from Earth 5700. This is an alternate Earth where the X-Men are gone, and Wolverine was desperate enough to ask Wade to be a member of the main roster. And of course, he got a new suit to go along with his membership. Option 5 is actually Deadpool's Weapon X suit. Normally this suit is a short sleeve outfit, exposing Wade's arms, but aside from that one detail, this palette swap is fairly comic accurate. Option 6 is definitely Deadpool's second most famous look at this point, his Uncanny X-Force outfit. This character model is extremely faithful, and they've even replaced the Deadpool belt buckle logo with an X-Men one. And like we saw with the X-Force Wolverine, the X-Force version of Deadpool also has red eyes instead of white. And finally, Deadpool's 7th costume option is a bit of a gag, Cable Pool. Simply a parody costume for Deadpool featuring some of the more recognizable characteristics of his buddy Cable. And then we come to Phoenix, one of my favorite characters in the game, and sadly she seems to be missing from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Her first costume option is of course her standard green leotard, which debuted back in Uncanny X-Men #101. Her second outfit is her white Phoenix outfit, as featured in Phoenix in Song, a post-Death of Jean Grey storyline from the mid-2000s, and this was the outfit she was wearing when she appeared in the White Hot Room. Option 3 is another costume from that era, only slightly before Jean died, her new X-Men era outfit. This costume mostly draws color inspiration from Jean Grey's look during Grant Morrison's run on the new X-Men. Most of the finer costume detail is missing, but with the X emblem on the chest and the general black and gray color scheme, it's a nice nod to that run on the comics. Option 4 is a blue and yellow color scheme, and is fairly close to Jean's appearance during Chris Claremont's X-Men Forever comic book series. Option 5 is a red and yellow look, or Jean Grey's 80s X-Factor outfit. You'll notice a large X adorns her body. Again, the sash is inaccurate, but otherwise this is a pretty faithful look for the character. Option 6 switches the colors to red and blue, meant to evoke her appearance as Phoenix from the Age of Apocalypse storyline. This look is somewhat comic accurate. Largely it's a color inspiration, but Capcom did go the extra mile and include her comic-specific face tattoo. And finally, Phoenix's 7th costume option, and the only one I ever play as, her 90s era Jim Lee costume. Because this outfit was originally DLC, it's quite comic faithful with all of the correct costume detail. Though it does feature a coloration bug whenever you win as Dark Phoenix. You'll notice the cowl around her face incorrectly stays blue on her win screen. Maybe Capcom never noticed, but I was a bit surprised when this bug wasn't corrected on the PS4 and Xbox One versions of this game when it released in 2016. And that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe even learned something. You can always keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'll see you guys next time.